Welcome back to the math show. You're gonna leave with more than you already did know.
There's coronavirus in the school.
No, the math show. Get up.
The math show.
Happy birthday to...
To the math show! To the math show! We're 10 episodes old! Happy birthday to the math show! Happy birthday to the math show! Happy birthday to the math show!
Oopsies.
Happy birthday to you! It's my wish. The wish of the math show is that everybody's liking it and learning from it and having a little bit of fun. And they're safe at home during shelter in place. Anyway.
Don't forget, when you're solving equations, if you do something to one side, you have to do it to the other side. You have to maintain equality. Can I make an equal symbol out of these? Don't forget, you gotta. I made this music video like 11 years ago. You gotta. I hope you like it. You gotta.
You got to maintain. You got to maintain equality.
We solving equations, the game is simple. Like get in front of the mirror and popping your pimples. We solving equations, just isolate the variable. Use your inverse operations to clear that table. We solving equations that just like scales do the same to both sides, it never fails.
It never fails.
You got to maintain. You got to maintain equality.
You got to maintain. You got to maintain equality.
Gotta maintain equality. You gotta maintain equality. You have to maintain equality.
Today, we'll be focusing on the writing of the math more than the solution. You're going to see some of these equations and you're going to be like, x equals 2, x equals 4, x equals 6, x equals 10. And that's not really what we're getting to today. Not today's lesson. We're focusing on the process, not really the answer. To write down the equation first, and then write down all your steps, the baby steps, the little steps that you do to get to the solution. All right, we're heading outside. It's raining out. So I borrowed my daughter's umbrella, which was 4. Oh yeah, baby. Today's math show we'll be doing from the garage. We have never done a show in the garage. Why? Because it was filthy. But I did get a chance to clean it out. Into the garage we go. It's kind of dark in here, and there's fish hanging from the ceiling.
Check those slippers out.
This is my son is an artist. He does all this art all over the place. Over there some. Over there some. Where else? This whole wall. Here's what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be isolating. Isolate. That means to get alone. If I'm gonna isolate myself from my family, I can go through this door. And now I'm isolated right now. Everyone else is inside, and that's like going to the other side of the equation. I'm on the other side of the equal sign right now. And that's what we want to do. We want to isolate the variable, get it alone. So what does it look like when a variable is isolated? It looks like this. X equals 14. See, the X, it's by itself. There's nothing with it on that side. Let's look over here. Is the variable isolated here? A is the variable, plus 2 equals 4. Now let's look on this side. Is it isolated? No, the variable's A. But what's hanging out with it? A plus 2. Not just a 2, but a plus 2. Let's look at another one. I'm gonna give you an equation. Is the variable isolated? Y equals, Y equals 4 plus 2. That's so sloppy. It's okay. Y equals 4 plus 2. Is the variable isolated? Yes, it is. So what does Y equal? It equals this stuff. So Y equals 6.
Name of the game is, what does the variable equal?
So here's our first problem. Go ahead and write it down. It's number 1, and it is really simple. You're gonna know the answer right away. 2 plus a mystery number equals 10. Now you probably already know the answer. 2 plus what is 10? Yeah, it's 8. You're right. But that's not today's lesson. Not today's lesson. Today's lesson is the writing of the equations. Here we go. I'm gonna drop that equal sign down. And then let's see how we can isolate the f. We're gonna be using those inverse operations.
Okay, in case you forgot your inverse operations, here's a brief tutorial. Now there are 4 main operations. There are many more, but here are the 4 big dogs: adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. Now if you ever see those and you want to get rid of something that has those, you need to use these inverse operations. For addition, it is subtraction. Inverse operation of subtraction is addition, and the inverse operation of multiplication is division, and the inverse operation of division is multiplication. Now, get ready to use these inverse operations. Use them! Come on!
Let's start out with this. What is the variable in the equation? It's f. Is it on the right side or the left side? It's on the left side. So I'm going to cover this 10 up here, and we're going to just look at this expression here. Is the variable alone? Nope. What do you see with the variable? I see we're adding a 2, and that's what we want to get rid of. So let's look at our inverse operations. What's the inverse of addition? It's subtraction. So how do I get rid of a plus 2? Yeah, minus 2. So 2 minus 2 plus f equals 10 minus 2. So I put my equal signs in the middle. You guys writing this down? So what happens over here? What if you take a number and you're adding its opposite? What happens to it? Yeah, it turns into a 0. This number, that is gone. That's really 0. And 0 plus f is f. Over here, let's see what's happening on the right side. 10 minus 2 is 8. And we are finished. We can check it really quick. Put the 8 back in up here for f. 2 plus 8 is 10. Left side is 10. Right side is 10. 2, write it down. 12 equals x minus 5. Ooh, look at that. Variables on the right side. Still want to isolate it. Want to get it alone. So on the left side, I see a 12. On the right side, I see an x minus 5. Probably already know the answer, which is not today's lesson. Not today's lesson. What number minus 5 will give me 12? If you're not sure, you don't know, that's fine. But I know some of you know the answer. It's 17. So, equal sign goes here. Got the x, and I also got a minus 5. How do I get rid of minus 5? What is the inverse operation of subtraction? What's the opposite of subtracting? Yeah, adding. So how can I add? What would I add to minus 5 to make it turn into a 0? Yeah, positive 5. Negative 5 plus positive 5 is 0. Some of you might be asking, this is a positive 5 right here. Well, it's minus 5. Or you could think of it as adding a negative 5, which is the same thing. So to get rid of that minus 5, we're going to add 5. So x minus 5 plus 5, add 5 over here. Now we're going to add 5 over here. 12 plus 5. Equal sign goes in the middle. And what do we get? Minus 5 plus 5 is 0. That's gone. That's a 0. And then x plus 0 is x. Isolated the variable. And then over here, 12 plus 5 is 17. Got it. Does it matter that the x is on the left? Nope. Doesn't matter. 17 equals x, or x equals 17. Same thing. We can check it really quick. Put that 17 here. Is 17 minus 5 or 17 plus negative 5, is that the same as 12? You guys are doing great. Here we go. Let's try number 3. What about this one? 5/13 equals t minus 6/13. Ooh, fractions. Actually, I like fractions. Check it out. That's 13ths. That's 13ths. So I know working with these fractions is going to be easy because they're the same. They have the same denominator. They're like fractions. All right, let's go through the steps. Where's the variable? On the right or the left? It's over here. Do you see anything on that side with the variable? I do. Yeah, it's minus 6/13. So, how do I get rid of minus 6/13? Yeah, add 6/13. They're opposites, and they'll make a 0. So here we go. T minus 6/13 plus 6/13. And then what are we gonna do over here? We did something to the right side. We added 6/13, so gotta do it over here too.
If you do something to one side, you have to do it to the other side. 5/13 plus 6/13.
And let's see what we get over here. Minus 6/13 plus 6/13. Minus 6/13 plus 6/13 is 0. Those are opposites. Gone. So that's t. We isolated the variable. Over here, it's got to add them up. 5/13 plus 6 more 13ths is 11/13. You guys getting this? The equations are going to get harder, and if you don't start writing down your steps and showing what you're doing, you won't be able to solve the harder ones. So just trust me. Write this stuff down. Be very quiet. Everyone's sleeping in my house. There's 2 more kinds of problems, 2 more kinds of equations that we need to solve. So far, we've used addition to solve subtraction equations, and we've used subtraction to solve addition equations. But we still need to use multiplication to solve division equations, and we need to use division to solve multiplication equations. Should we bring a Carolyn? Okay, we'll bring it with. Come on, Carolyn. I've never gone in the car to not go anywhere and just do math.
Popping your pimples, we solve an
Turned up.
Just isolate the variable, use your inverse operations to clear that table.
All right, let's get it moving. As I said, here comes number 4. And uh-oh, what's that? That's 2x. Is that 2 times x? 2 plus x? 2 what? What is that? Yeah, that's 2 times x. That's 2x, 2 times x. Looks like we're gonna have to get rid of that 2. Let's see what's on the other side. 14, not too bad. Easy number to work with. All right, so yeah, what's the variable? Variable is x, and we need to get rid of that 2. And it's stuck on there with multiplication, so our inverse operation will be division. Check this out. I'm gonna divide by 2, and here we go. 2 divided by 2 is 1. And 1 times x is x. 14 divided by 2 is 7. That's it, we're done. 1-step equations. 1 step and you're done. Once again, this was multiplication, so I divided, and a 2 divided by 2 is a 1, and we get x, because 1 times x is x. You can plug it back in. 2 times 7, over here is a 14, over here is a 14. Kira, did it look like we got it right?
Could be.
Number 5. Let's see what happens when we have an equation with division. What do you think we're going to use to solve it? There it is. 10 equals x divided by 3. Some number divided by 3 is 10. Probably already know the answer. That's 30. But that's not today's math. Not today's lesson. Let's maintain equality and do something to both sides to get rid of that rascal right there. I want to get rid of that divided by 3. So the inverse operation of division is multiplication. So watch what happens here. We're going to multiply both sides by 3. I'm multiplying by 3 over here to get rid of that 3, but I have to do it over here too. So 10 times 3, and over here it's going to be x thirds times 3. And watch what happens over here. Watch, this is the algebra that's happening. And I know it's going to seem weird at first, so it's going to look weird. That's a fraction, that's not. Let's make that a fraction. X times 3 is 3x. 3 times 1 is 3. And what we get here is a 1. But we turn it into a 1, and now it's 1 times x. And 1 times x is x. Isolating that variable. Let's see what's happening on the left side. 10 times 3 is 30. And that's our answer. Just gonna pull it down here. And let's see if it's 30. Put a 30 in there. 30 divided by 3 is 10. So that works. It's a check. You saw just a little bit. You saw just a little bit of each kind of equation here, and I know you're gonna need some practice doing this. I miss school. Happy birthday, Math Show. Math Show makes you good cake. See you next time on the class.
6th grade math class.
Wait for it.
The Math Show.
You must learn!